Okay. Hey, we're live. All right, all right. Good evening, everyone's. Welcome to Off the Bench Live, the home edition. I am your host, Mark Wiggins, here once again on night 3, which was Wednesday. Yeah, night 3 tonight. Last night was a great session with our friend Aisha Cogborn. If you didn't get the replay that came on today around 11:30, go back and look at that on my page. Definitely follow her information. She's got some stuff coming. She has a book release coming out today, and an online virtual training program for entrepreneurs who are just getting started. So make sure you go and find all of that. That being said, we are getting live tonight. We have some guests on tonight. As you can see, someone's already in the room. It is the illustrious Kindra Harvey. From what let me give you her bio, because y'all know how this works, right? I don't do bios, but I'm gonna do this one. She's just a beast, and she's the BD development. You want somebody to help you grow your business, is her. So anyway, Kindra, the floor is all yours, and then what you got?
Thank you, Speaker Man Mark Wiggins. I really appreciate the shout out and the positive vibes for this. And thank you so much for the opportunity to join you all here in this platform. When you first invited me, I thought what an awesome way to really shed light and love to all the entrepreneurs out there, business owners, speakers in training, like the whole crew. I think this is an awesome thing. So again, thank you so much for having me. So I'm going to jump right into it. People often ask me, why do I smile so much? And I love to say that I can't help it. It's like really a muscle malfunction with my face. It just automatically happens. But the truth is, I choose to find joy in every possible situation. And that's a principle that I implemented into my company. My company is called Purpose Works, WORX. And what we are about is basically helping companies to find ideas to enter into new market spaces and to expand their business ideas from where they are to where they want to be. So our company, I'll share more with you on that later. A core mission of our organization is including positive mental attitude as a part of our business and operational plan. So how do we do that? We look at 3 parts that are really pivotal to how we do what we do. One, that's self. How am I taking care of me? Because as the owner, the founder, and the CEO of this company, if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of anyone else. I have to look at what am I doing in the morning, first thing, to keep my mind in the right place and to keep my mood in a positive and upbeat position, right? So one of the things that I adopted a long time ago, and if you know me well, you've heard this story, I started using free resources like YouTube. YouTube has a gazillion and one motivational videos that are like compilations that different people have put together over time. And I have surrounded myself with an army of mentors who speak life into me every single morning. So while I'm brushing my teeth and taking care of, you know, my hair and all the things that you have to do before you present yourself to the world in the morning, I have that as my input source. So I'm inputting positive into my mind the moment that I start getting ready to start my day. I find that it really helps me to kind of chart a path and sets the direction for where we're going to go. When I leave the house, I feel uplifted, I feel motivated, I feel charged up, and I find that I'm speaking life into people as I go because I've heard something that has inspired me, and I want to share that lightness and that love with everyone else that I meet. So that's the first thing that I do, is I take care of me. The second thing that I do is I make sure that I empower my team. As a small business, my team is so important to me. I would not say that my team is more important than my customers, but I would definitely rank them as equals. My team if it were not for the people who helped me, I would not be able to do anything. From my admin to the interns to everyone else who has volunteered their time to help me grow my business, my team is essential. So it's so important, critically important, for me to speak life and empower my team, the people that are surrounding me and making sure that my business operates flawlessly day in and day out. So I encourage you to make sure that you're speaking life in your team. If you find that you're a solopreneur, or maybe you're a speaker that does not have your entourage that's on payroll right now, don't get it twisted. You might be in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. There's a marketing person or somebody who's helping you get ideas together for your marketing materials, or maybe it's your message or whatever it is that's going out to the world. There are people around you, whether it be your accountant, your bookkeeper, your best friend, the person that you work out with, your spouse, your kids, your puppy, whoever it is, somebody is speaking life into you and somebody is encouraging you. So even though they're not your employee on your payroll, they are pivotal to how you operate and grow your company, and how you grow and operate your business, and how you show up in the world. So it's important that we love on these people. If we badmouth or bash them, or when mistakes get high, or we find ourselves in a pandemic crisis that none of us could have predicted and none of us can control, if you lash out at your team, they will turn their backs on you, and you will lose one of the greatest assets that you have to move your company forward on the other side of this. So make sure that if you don't do anything else, you're speaking life into those people that keep your company afloat. So make sure you do that. And the third thing is your community. So first thing was you, make sure you're loving on yourself. Second thing was your team. Make sure you're loving on the people that you surround yourself with. And the third thing is your community. So your community is your customers, your clients, your patrons, whoever, your patients, whoever you call them, whoever is paying you for what it is that you do. For my speakers out there, it's your audience. This is your community. So you need to make sure that you are loving on them, especially in these uncertain times. People are afraid to use their money. People are afraid to spend because the uncertainty of the climate that we're in right now has people holding on tight to every single dollar and every single resource. So we need to make sure now more than ever that we are instilling confidence in our community, that I am a safe and worthwhile investment. When you choose to spend your money with me, you're not just buying a product or a service or getting a speaker to stand on stage and deliver some rah-rah message to motivate you for the moment. No, you are making a connection for life, and your customers and your clients should always, always be perceived as an investment for life. If your customer is a one and done customer, then you are doing it wrong. So use this time where everyone is uncertain and everyone is unsure and everyone is feeling all of these negative emotions to share something positive with them, whether it be a motivational post through social media that makes them laugh, or something that picks up their spirit. Maybe it's a personal text message to each one of your clients. And there's a lot of automated services, so you're not using your personal phone number, but just a quick text message to say, hey, I want you to know that our company is thinking about you. We want to check in. Maybe it's an email or a note, or maybe you go to their, if your customer has their own business, maybe you swing by their business page on social media or on Google and leave a positive review, but something where they have a good taste in their mouth about you and how you do business. So once this thing is over, you've got not just a customer or a client, but you've got a friend for life. So make sure you're doing those things. Those are my 3 tips for positive in your business. And now it's time for me to be my authentic self, right? So if you know me, I'm part preacher, part ratchet, just a little bit of both. That's my 2 personalities right there. So it was on my heart earlier today to just share this message with you. So now that the practical stuff is over, let me just go into a little bit of spiritual. I apologize if I offend anybody, but I am who I am. God put on my heart to just remind you all in this season of uncertainty to never make a permanent decision over a temporary situation. This thing that we're facing right now is one of the most temporary things that you're going to deal with over the next couple of years. It seems huge, it seems major, but make sure that you think through every single decision that you are making multiple times. Run the scenarios and see, is there another way that I can do this? Is there another revenue generator that I can tackle? Is there something that I can be doing in this downtime to give me that monumental or meteoric thrust once this thing is over? You have to identify those things for yourself. And once you've identified those things, put a plan around it, but let that plan be something that moves you forward. Now is not the time to give up. Now is the time to say, okay, God, you put me in this situation. You put us all in this situation. And we know that there's something better on the other side of this. So help me to, one, stay steadfast, stay unmovable, stay always abounding in what you tell me is true, right? Through that word, whatever it is that you believe, now is the time to buckle down to your faith. What I read and what I study tells me that if I have faith but the size of a mustard seed, that anything is possible for me. So I'm choosing to activate my mustard seed. Just yesterday, I posted on my Facebook a reminder that popped up from 2 years ago, and I thought, how timely is this message? And it says, have mustard seed, we'll use it. I encourage you, if you've never touched a mustard seed, you can probably find some still on the store shelves. If you get to go out to the grocery stores and get something, look for a mustard seed. If you don't buy a jar of mustard seed, just get one. If you're afraid to go out to the store, take an ink pen and look at the tip of an ink pen, a ballpoint pen, and the tip of that pen is about the same size as a mustard seed. You literally need that much faith to see it through this dark season that we're in right now. And it's that little bit of positive mindset that will ground you, and it will root you in the hope of knowing that on the other side of this is something bigger, is something better, and I'm going to come back even better than I was before. So I hope that helps you. Always, always, always incorporate positive in your business plan. Positive for you, positive for your team, and positive for your community or your customers. So this is Kindra Harvey signing off of my personal speech during this, and I look forward to the interview with you, Mark.
The doors are open.
I'm gonna pass the offering plate. Let's get it on.
Once again, the doors are open.
Yes, child. Come on, let's pass that plate.
Young.
My Cash App is, no, I'm teasing.
Don't let the decision leave you today.
Come on.
Do not make a permanent decision in a temporary
Over a temporary situation. Amen.
Girl, I was over here scrambling and writing and scribbling and trying to post and kind of be the scribe out here.
Yes.
Y'all, look, Kindra was at my Off the Bench Live, maybe, I don't know.
Great.
And it wasn't 50, it was 51. Anyway, she did the same doggone thing. And everybody was like, who is this? You don't know who she is. Well, I knew who she was. I've known Kindra for a minute. Y'all, she is a powerhouse. And you understand why her business is so successful and helping entrepreneurs with this personal touch and personal care that we as entrepreneurs or people lack.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily remember the basic fundamental of customer service. It's the customer. And once you can provide for them, somebody else will. And when they provide that and they get what they need, they are loyal with them and they're not loyal with you. Kindra teaches that message over and over again. So I want to go back to your first point on your three was self-care, speak life to others, and community, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
We have someone coming on later tonight that's going to address this a little bit deeper. Hint, hint, pay attention, Michelle. And why are we so bad as entrepreneurs or people at doing this self-care thing? Why are we so bad at it?
The grind, right? So you ever watch, I'm a little secret about me. I love NASCAR. I love races. I love anything that's like extremely fast. When you get that check flag, honey, something happens to me, right? And I think that as entrepreneurs, we view this business as a competitive climate, almost like a NASCAR race. right? So we get ourselves and we do those pace laps with our business. This is where we're putting that foundational stuff, but we're making these strategic connections and things like that. And we feel in our spirit, like once that checker flag drops, we have to go. You've never seen a NASCAR driver at the beginning of the race contemplating his pit stop. They're not thinking about their pit stop. They're thinking, how far, how fast do I need to go to be ahead of everybody in this race? And we have this competitive mindset where we like literally pedal to the metal. We just go. We're not thinking about hydration, water, infrastructure, being the tires or the fuel or anything like that. We go until somebody in our ear says, hold up. You need to stop for a second, because if we don't fix you up right here in the middle of this race, you are going to spin out, AKA burnout, and you're not going to be able to successfully cross that finish line. So if I could say one thing to business owners, this is not a race. This is something that you're committing to for a long time. You are in this for the long haul. So do not burn out. Plan those pit stops just like you plan your business or your marketing plan or your strategic plan or your networking plan. You need to plan your self-care. If you don't have at least 3 hours of self-time on your calendar every week, you're doing it wrong. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to a spa or take a day away from your family. One of my favorite things to do is called dark showers, right? Where I make my bathroom as dark as I can possibly make it. I turn the water as hot as I can possibly stand it. And I just stand there in that hot water and just drift away in the steam for a few moments. That allows me to shut my brain off. I also gift myself 1 hour of Ratchet TV every week. And I'm talking ratchet. I'm talking about the worst Ratchet TV show, probably shouldn't even be on TV, that you can find. Why? Because my brain mentally shuts off for that 1 hour. So it's whatever it is, whether your thing is working out. I'm a little allergic to exercise. We'll talk about that later. But if your thing is working out, work out. If you like walking, take a walk. Whatever it is, you need at least 3 hours of self-care. So plan your pit stops.
All right, Reverend. So the pit stops actually ties into your second point. I'm about to pick this all apart.
Let's go.
Because we all know, for those who watch NASCAR slightly a little bit, because I like how they go fast, but I'm always more intrigued on the teamwork side of the pit crew.
That's it.
The pit crew is watching what's going on the track at high levels. Remember, he can't do nothing but this right here. So he has to trust everybody beside him, behind him, whatever, especially when it comes to the car needing to be adjusted, fueled, tires changed.
That's it.
When they don't pay attention to their team, to your point, burnout, spin out, whatever, and they have to come in. And that is probably one of the hardest things to do, is to listen and yield to someone to believe that they have the best interest. But if you're pouring into your team, like you said, and they have that trust factor on you and they've got the best for you, then you're going to have to let that be the trust.
And that's the core, right? The core of everything that you just said. I know that wasn't a question. You're probably going to ask me a question. Sorry for interrupting. But the core of that whole thing is trust. By empowering your team, speaking life into your team, loving on your team and treating them well, they then trust you. People do business with folks that they know, like, and trust. Your team wants to work with people that they know, like, and trust. So how do I empower my team? One, let them do the job that you hired them for. Because if you're anything like me, you've worked at many jobs where the job description says one thing and what you actually do is something totally different, right? If you hire me because I'm smart, I'm savvy, I'm well connected in the community, then let me do that. And what that does is it requires you to humble yourself, right? I think that a lot of times entrepreneurs and solopreneurs hold on to their business so close to their chest, like their baby or their child, to the point where they suffocate the child. It's like crib death for your business, because you're holding on to it so tight. Eventually, you're going to have to trust somebody else with your kid. Let them hold them for a while. Just like on that NASCAR track, you are literally trusting your team with your life. If you spin out, or if they're pissed at you because you yelled at them, or you didn't treat them well, or they needed time off and you wouldn't give them time off or a break, or you chastised them or berated them in public, or whatever it is. As business owners, sometimes we can do some pretty awful things to people and we feel justified in it because nobody cares about our business like we care about our business. But the truth of the matter is, your team is around you because they know, like, and trust you, and they believe in you. So if you don't nurture that relationship and that trust and that truth, when it comes time for them to really have your back, when the chips fall, and when you're in a situation like what we're in now, an unprecedented time in our history, and I can't just say American history, this is world history that we're actually living through. If you are not surrounded by people who know, like, and trust you, you're doomed. You're absolutely doomed. So we have to make sure that we're loving on people, especially our employees or our circle of connections that help make our business move forward.
All right, the question behind the question is, how do you do that? How do you build the know, like, and trust with your team? What steps can I take as a leader, entrepreneur, whatever, to get that trust up?
One, there's a huge difference between empathy and sympathy, right? Sympathy says, I know exactly how you feel, right? It's sad. I can commiserate. When you cry, I cry. We cry together. Empathy says, wow, I see you're emotional right now. Let me give you some space so you can work out with whatever that is, and then you can come back to us brand new, because we need what it is that you have to offer. You're a valuable resource to the team. So your self-care is so important to me right now. I'm going to let you step away, right? That's that like, and that's that trust. The no is you have to take the time to get to know the individual and not just the worker. It doesn't mean that you have to invite them to your house or share your personal number, but take time to find out what their interests are, what motivates them, learn a little bit about their past. Every chance you get, edify them. We don't do that enough, where we edify and uplift someone else just for no apparent reason. Like when they least expect it, edify them to their teammates, but do it equally. Don't just edify one employee more than another, and never, ever, 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 ever pit resources against each other, right? You need to look at people as assets and not a pawn that you put into this competitive landscape.
That's right. That's right. That's good stuff right there. Because I mean, it is difficult as the leader to balance all that. You know, you're looking at things that they're not looking at. You're seeing things down the road that ain't come yet. You're trying to drive this vision, but at the same time, you have to leave them with stuff to do.
Yes.
To get it. I subscribe to the theory that the leaders see things again that aren't there, and sometimes you have to walk way on out there and then turn around and convince everybody else this is where we need to go. But I need your skill set. I need your abilities to fill in the gap of what I need to get done, because I can't do that and be the visionary. I can't do both.
Exactly.
Not the same time. And if I'm doing one, then one's not getting done. Right?
Right.
The other's not getting done. So that's crucial. I know entrepreneurs, when I'm talking to folks, they have that problem of holding it. And I knew, like when you're on the cookie store back in the day, I learned the hard way that don't nobody love it like you do.
Yeah.
Get over it, because that's just the way it is. So don't expect them to, right? Don't expect them to. Expect them to love it as long as that check is coming in, they're living up to their abilities, and you are rewarding the great behavior, and there is that give and take of performance, and that's not there, they need to go, but they'll never, ever, ever love it like you love it.
So here's an opportunity, Mark, to that same point. You as the business owner, part of empowering them is sometimes, just like in a great relationship, you got to teach people how to love you, because that's not something that they're born doing, right? Mm-hmm. So one, you know, like the Bible, I'm going to the Bible again, right? The Bible says you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? So if you've never taken the time to figure out what it is that you love about yourself, or even the time to actually fall in love with yourself, I can't then love my neighbor as I love me, because I don't even know that I actually love me. Same thing for your employees or your team that's surrounding you. If you love your business and you're passionate about your business, it's important that the same thing that made you fall in love with your business or your business idea or your why behind your business, you have to share that same love and that same passion with those people. It makes me think of companies like Tom's, for example.
Mhm.
Shoe company. Everybody knows Tom's. Tom's is so passionate about making sure that everybody has a good quality shoe because they know what it's like to have your feet hurt. They know what it's like to feel that pain. So for every pair of shoes that their customer buys, their company donates shoes to someone else. Those people who work for Tom's can express that same love and loyalty for giving back to the community because that's the core mission and founding principle of that organization. So when you share your true love of your business, like your baby, with your team, they then will learn to fall in love with that vision and that business baby, just like you do.
Mm. Awesome, awesome. Third point, talking about community. Is it, explain to, again, a little deeper, what's a good way to, I know you can't buy goodwill. You have to can earn it. So how, as an entrepreneur, business owner, solopreneur, can we earn the goodwill, trust of the community?
Show the people that when you look at them, when you do your projections, there's not a dollar sign beside their name on your list of clients, right? Know your client's story, whether it's asking their birthday so that you can send them a birthday card or a happy birthday on social media or something like that. Know something about their life, their personal life. So whether that's through client surveys, even if you are a product-based business, like let's say you're a baker or you sell purses, right? Or lipstick, whatever, you know something about your customer. Like I love it when retail stores on my birthday, they send me a coupon to say, hey, we want to celebrate your birthday. Come back and shop with us. That's them getting to know me personally. They're not looking at my buying habits. They're looking at my birthday. It has nothing to do with how much money I spend in their business every year. But year over year, whether I patronize them or not, they send me a coupon. And what do I do with that coupon? Because your girl love a discount. I go back to that store and I patronize that store. Why? Because they thought about me. Did they really? Probably not. It was an algorithm where they collected that data at some point in time, but it was enough for me to be able to re-engage. We need to treat our customers like they matter and not like they're a dollar sign, right? So see people for who they are and not the dollar symbol that replaces their face and your vision of how your business grows forward.
See, that's just some crucial information. I told you she was a beast. I'll go in her office and just sit for an hour. We just all the doggone time. And to hear the information insight, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that
Thanks for having me.
with everybody so they could take this information and grow their business. And again, back to the NASCAR and the self-care, this time right now is just that.
That's it.
It's just that you not only had to stop, the red flag came out on that joint and everybody had to stop.
Yes.
Everybody had to come in and stop. Go.
Everybody is going into the pit stop. Everybody is going back. This is the time where you check your tires. This is not the time where you check out of the race. This is the time where you kick your tires, you recalibrate, you refuel, you do everything you need to do. And then when it's time for the race to begin again, they do a pace lap where everybody in synchronicity goes around. So I say get ready for your pace lap to make sure that all systems are go. So that checker flag drops again, you're ready to get back out there, but this time you're doing it with a plan for positive and not just going out there flailing and competing.
Somebody put that in the timeline. Pace lap, y'all. Pace lap.
This is our pace lap. Yeah, now's not the time to quit. Don't you make no permanent decision over a temporary situation. Now
it's gonna be on the t-shirt. But anyway, so Kindra, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, these specials, online training. Go ahead, put it all out there. Go.
Absolutely. So right now you can find me spinning and doing crazy stuff in my living room because that's about all I can do these days. No, I'm teasing. My website is www.purpose Works with an X, WORX.com. Follow me on LinkedIn. That is my favorite place to network with people, share resources and connections. So any new events that we have coming up over the next couple of months will be posted there on LinkedIn. So in a moment, I'm going to paste that over here in the thread that you have on Facebook so people can get my contact information right there.
All right, there it is. Kendra, thank you.